Good evening.
Good evening, President Logan, Superintendent Thompson, board members. In particular, Mr. Reeser, Ms. Logan, and Ms. Crable, welcome to another 4 years. This is a great evening of celebration to begin your next terms, and we so appreciate your willingness to serve. It is indeed our pleasure tonight, in the first of our 4 good news items, to celebrate you. January is Board of Education Appreciation Month in Kansas. You all may be familiar with that. Our first opportunity allows us to draw attention to the 7 of you and the extraordinary service that you give freely to 50,000 students, almost 10,000 employees, and a community that depends on our kids to be successful. It has been estimated before when we've asked the question, what makes a good board member? It has been estimated that a good board member invests between 10 and 20 hours a week, which amounts to 500 to 1,000 hours in a year to serve this community through your board service. And what our viewers may not understand as we prepare to swear in a new mayor this evening as the legislative session begins, is that of all of the public servants in our community and at the state level, you all step up and serve and contribute those 500 to 1,000 hours a year with no compensation. That makes you unique amongst public service. And that, in my opinion, makes your service that much more extraordinary. So tonight, we want to do 2 things to honor you. First of all, I know that President Logan was checking out the really cool piece of student art at her place setting, and you will each notice that you have something different. That is because the works of art were made for you by a student artist at a school from a school in the board district that you represent. So I want to call attention to this so that our viewers understand the power and the impact of the arts in our district and the cool stuff that they've made for you. So President Logan, your student art is from Sowers. Mr. Rohde's student art is from Northwest. Mr. Blankley's, yours is from East High School. Ms. Hedrick, yours is from Southeast High School. That's very cool. Sunflower.
It looks like a crown almost.
I was thinking sunflower, but that's the beauty of art, is that you can make it represent whatever you would like.
I saw that.
Ms. Crable, your student art is from Gardner Elementary. Mr. Reesers, yours is from South High School. And finally, Mr. Rosales, yours is from North High. So we asked Sean Chastain and Fine Arts to see if our student artists would be willing to share with you the gifts that you have given them through your support of the arts. And I think it's pretty cool that, that you all get to walk away with these nifty pieces. So I mentioned one of 2 ways. The second way is that I would like to invite Dr. Thompson to the podium. Governor Kelly, at the very end of December, proclaimed January as School Board Appreciation Month, and you all have a copy of the proclamation that she issued to celebrate across the state, and we wanted to take the opportunity to read that so that we could share that with viewers and so the entire community could be engaged to celebrate you. So without further ado, Dr. Thompson.
As I am a teacher, if you'd like to follow along, the proclamation is at your table. Whereas the mission of public schools is to meet the diverse educational needs of all children and prepare them for future success. And whereas the Kansas Constitution entrusts the locally elected school board with the maintenance, development, and operation of this state's public educational system. And whereas local school board members are accountable to their local community for accomplishing the mission of public education in Kansas. Whereas Kansas Public School Board members advocate for our communities, our children, and our public schools. And whereas the members of Kansas Public School Boards of Education and are committed to providing an excellent education for every child in every community. And whereas locally elected school board members devote hundreds of volunteer hours to the governance of our public education system. Now, therefore, I, Laura Kelly, Governor of the State of Kansas, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2020 as School Board Recognition Month in Kansas, and I urge all citizens to join recognizing the dedication and commitment of local school board members, and to furthermore join them in working for the public education system that meets the needs of our state's children today and in the future. I'd like the audience to please stand with me, and let's give our Board of Members a round of applause.
Oh, my goodness. We as board members try to deflect this kind of attention, but thank you very much. And I shall treasure my bowl, and I've looked at the artist names on the back of it, so when I go to Sowers next, I'm going to find this student. So thank you very much.
Our second good news item tonight allows us to celebrate the launch of the 25th Annual Battle of the Books. I think that's pretty remarkable. 25 years of growth, 25 years of healthy student competition, and 25 years of encouraging our young readers to check out the William Allen White Award winners. So here to tell you more about this year's event is Gail Becker, our Director of Library Media Services, and I think she probably has an invitation for you to come and be involved and see the fun as well.
Good evening, President Logan, board members, Dr. Thompson. Library Media and Textbook Services is excited to present the 25th Annual Battle of the Books competition, which will be held January 21st through the 28th. It is an engaging reading competition for our 3rd through 5th grade students, which tests their reading comprehension in a game-style format. There are 64 books on the list, which include a variety of genres to introduce students to different types of literature that they might not discover on their own. Many students from each school participate, but only one team is chosen to attend the district competition, which is held at Media Productions at the studio at the School Service Center. The district competition also includes an impromptu book talk, which requires students to identify story elements about one of the titles on the list. Local news and radio personalities volunteer to host our competitions, and we're really grateful for their partnership. This year, we are planning 12 competitions with a winning team recognized at each one. All participants will receive a medal paid for with a gift from the School Library Advocacy Group. Businesses contributing items for student participants include Freddy's and Watermark. The competitions are posted on the WPS TV website and can be viewed throughout the year. There are 47 schools participating this year, which is a record number again, and approximately 1,100 students have been involved in those school competitions. This is a wonderful opportunity for elementary students to compete in a fun academic activity that promotes the important skill of reading. These students set goals, commit to read books from the current year list, and they work together as a team to be prepared for their competition. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Lori Smith, Library Media Instructional Support, for organizing and directing this year's Battle of the Books competitions. We'd also like to recognize Media Productions for producing the programs, and we appreciate the support from the Board of Education, our district administration, librarians, teachers, and parents who work together to make Battle of the Books a success each year. And you are all, usually I come after the competition and tell you kind of what we did, but I'm here before, so I just want to extend an invitation. You're all welcome to join us for a competition if you'd like to. We have one in the morning and one in the afternoon each of those days. So if you want to come, just let me know and I'll give you all the details about the where and the when, and we'd love to see you out there. Thank you.
I was able to attend one of the sessions last year, and I really would like to come. So if you could send the board just an
Okay.
email, or send it through Alicia,
Where-
send it to her.
where to meet and what time?
And she'll refer it on. Yeah, when the meets are.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, because this is, It's amazing how smart our kids are. I mean, they just shine. Thank you. Next item.
We're going to continue our theme of a focus on literacy with a little twist. And at this point, allow you to honor one of our best and brightest in the classroom, specifically in the high school classroom. Our third item tonight gives you the opportunity to meet Melissa Butine, who's an English language arts teacher at Northwest High, and she was selected last fall as the Kansas Outstanding High School English Educator for 2019. Her recognition will take place this spring, but we wanted to get a jump on that and allow you to celebrate statewide excellence. So I'm pleased to invite not only Assistant Superintendent for High Schools Gil Alvarez forward, but Mr. Steve Mock, who is an English teacher at East High, excellent English teacher, he taught my son. And he is the past president of the state association that bestowed this award. So we're pleased to invite our friends forward. And Melissa, this is your opportunity to come up for the uncomfortable opportunity to watch people talk about you while you can stand and receive their accolades.
Having just had that happen, I know it's not very comfortable to be in that position, so thank you for being here, Melissa.
Yeah, one over here, I guess. President Logan, Board, Dr. Thompson. As Wendy said, my name is Steve Mock. I teach at East High, and I am immediate past president of the Kansas Association of Teachers of English, which is a state affiliate of the National Council of Teachers of English. NCTE and CATE support student literacy and educational best practices for English teachers, elementary through post-secondary at the state and national levels. I'd also like to introduce CATE's current president, Nathan Whitman, who didn't want to come up, but who teaches high school English in Burton, Kansas public schools. At CATE's fall conference in October of 2019, Melissa Butine, ELA teacher at Northwest, was named Outstanding High School English Educator for the state of Kansas. She's also highly active in CATE as a member of CATE's executive board. She has been our William Allen White Award representative, and she plays an active role in assisting with and presenting at our annual state conference. In Melissa's nominator's words for this award, Melissa works hard to empathize with each of her students, and she includes opportunities for her students to share their own stories. She also encourages and pushes her coworkers to be their best. Melissa is a real educator, team player, and innovator. She helps all kids be their best, and it's great to have her on our team. Melissa does not ask for accolades. In her years of teaching, I don't think she has been sufficiently recognized for her good work. And so I am thrilled to represent the Kansas Association of Teachers of English in recognizing Melissa for USD 259 for our Outstanding High School English Educator Award. We're proud to have her contributions to CATE, and her students and colleagues at Northwest are lucky to have her as well.
I would just like to formally present, I know that Melissa was a great teacher because I happened to be her principal for a few years when I was at Northwest, so I saw firsthand how great she was to engage kids, build relationships, but provide the rigor necessary for our students. So Melissa, we are WPS proud of you for all your accomplishments. So I'd like to present a poster for you for the 2019-2020 Outstanding High School English Educator. Congratulations to Melissa.
I just want to say thank you. I appreciate the recognition and all of the support from all of you guys, so thank you.
Thank you very much. You represent us well, and we're really proud of you, Melissa. Thank you.
Will that go up in her classroom?
Probably for commentary.
That is a super honor. Thank you very much.
And we want to say thank you to Eric Hofer-Holderman, Melissa's principal, for being here, as well as Miss Leedy, who was here earlier from South High to support her Super SAC kids. Okay, our final good news item upholds that literacy thread and allows us to have a little bit of fun. So I'm delighted to introduce the fourth item, which really kind of gives us a 2-for-1. We all know that the key to success in life is a foundation grounded in literacy. And we know that students who are literate by 3rd grade are 4 times more likely to graduate from high school. We know that success gets its root long before students reach our 3rd grade classrooms, which is where we have targeted to assure that they are literate and on grade level standards. So much so that in the Kansas State Department of Education's strategic plan, which our work aligns with, they focus on kindergarten readiness, which means we've got work to do before they ever walk in our doors for the first time. And lastly, we know that students and their parents increasingly turn to videos and mobile devices to learn, to be entertained, and to engage in our community. So we have 2 projects, and the world premieres are happening last week and this, that allow us to wrap all of these essential elements together, targeting our early learners, students ages 4 to 8, and their parents, with beautifully crafted learning segments tied directly to our strategic plan. So first, and I'm going to bring your attention to this card that you have in front of me. Whoops. You see the graphic on the screen. And Superintendent Thompson's emoji, which allows us to celebrate the first of our 2 series called Read Along with Superintendent Thompson, designed to help encourage 4-year to 8-year-old readers be super readers. Our world premiere of Read Along with Superintendent Thompson was last Thursday at 5 p.m. with the book Say Something by author Peter H. Reynolds. We will continue through the school year with a new book every other week. Now, Mr. Blankley, I know based upon your comments in social media that you and your little had the opportunity to see firsthand how Dr. Thompson not only reads the words on the pages, but creates an opportunity for reflection along the way. Each video storybook makes its debut on WPS Facebook and Twitter, on our website, with the additional part of the address being /readalong, and that URL is at the very bottom of your card, and on YouTube. Twice every week, we also have a programming block on WPS TV at times where parents and their kids can tune in, not necessarily at that 5 p.m. on Thursday, but that time frame was very specific to make an effort to catch parents in that transition, to catch kids while they might still be at latchkey. We saw at Chris McAuliffe Academy last week that they were showing the read-along on a big screen to a group of their kindergarten kids. Our intent is that these books, which have been selected and recorded with the permission of publishers and authors, and if I could underline that statement, I would, because we found that there may be some peers doing really cool work like this that did not cover that critical step, and we wanted to assure that we were completely above board with our work, that these books will be available on demand for parents and young readers who want to read the great books again and again. With the support of Gail Becker and Library Media Services, we have already identified the 10 books that will be featured this spring, and we have purchased a copy of all 10 books for each of our school libraries. We've got some cool promotions that'll happen in those school libraries so kids, teachers, and others know what the book is that is being featured. We have also gifted you, each one of you, with a selection of that initial book called Say Something. It's really a cool book and supports social emotional learning without ever calling it that. It's about bullying and self-affirmation. It's really a great book. It was cool to see the initial feedback, and that's the beauty of social media, is that you have a chance to see the reflections. And I wanted to share a couple of the comments with you. One parent said, "My kids were really excited to tell me about this, as their librarian at school had told them there was a story time. They really enjoyed it." And another said, "What a sweet book. Our little boy had lots of sweet answers and comments for Dr. Thompson. Mom shared that her little boy said," this warms my heart, "Love and hope is my specialty." The video on Facebook so far has more than 5,000 views, and we know that the level of interest will only continue to grow. This project is the vision of Dr. Thompson as part of her leadership work to directly affect the strategic plan of our district, and the creation from the amazing team members you have on staff in strategic communications, specifically the folks that are up in the control booth in the back, Susan Arnsman and Kayla Pennick in our office, who is the creative genius behind the visuals, as well as Library Media Services. We could not have made this happen and realize Superintendent Thompson's vision without Gail's support and outreach to all of the publishers to ensure that we had high-quality books that we had permission to use. So that's one of two cool things to show you. And Susan, do we have video clip or just graphics tonight? Okay, so you can go on to usd259.org/readalong, and we'll have a direct link to each storybook as we launch those publicly. So now I'm going to have you turn this nifty card over and give you the other half of the 2-for-1. So at the same time we were in the throes of developing the Read Along project last fall, we were simultaneously working with Dr. Irving and her team in Learning Services, trying to wrap our arms around creative ways to engage parents of our early learners more actively in their quest to help our children. One of the things that we heard often was that parents really want to help, but they don't necessarily know what they need to be doing. So we took that challenge to task to figure out how we could bring the creativity, the expertise, and the resources that we had to bear to make that happen. So the result is Growing Up WPS. It is targeting the parents of the same kids that I just told you we were trying to reach, 4 to 8-year-olds. Growing Up WPS is focused on targeted learning strategies that parents can use to help their children become more successful young learners. While Read Along is exclusively literacy focused, Growing Up WPS is both literacy and numeracy. And in fact, the world premiere of Growing Up WPS this Thursday at 5 p.m. will focus on counting and counting strategies at home. Practical, rubber hits the road, easily accessible ways to help our parents know how to help their kids build skills. Because we are creating this brand identity around this Thursday 5 p.m. timeframe, we decided that we would alternate with Read Along so that parents always know they can tune in for something really cool, brand new, every Thursday at 5 p.m. And it's either going to be a new storybook through Read Along with Superintendent Thompson, or on the off week, it will be Growing Up WPS and the newest learning opportunity there. Dr. Geeson and her team in Learning Services have really brought life to the topics and the learning objectives that support our early standards. And we are just so proud of this work and the impact we believe it's going to have on our families and on our goal to increase third grade literacy, and of course to support the state's goal of early childhood readiness, early kindergarten readiness. So again, the team from media production, these guys are tapping all of their creative brain cells to make 2 really cool series pieces happen. Kayla and the graphic impressions, Learning Services in this case, and the content and the development will have the website presence for that, as we will for Read Along, and the URL is on your card. So it is a journey to get to this point, but once we get our second world premiere in 1 week under our belt this Thursday at 5 p.m., we'll feel like we're really off and rolling, and we hope that you will join us in sharing this and sharing the pride that we have in our team that is really focused on doing everything we can to support our teachers that are working hard and our principals that are working hard in classrooms, and of course to share or to help and support our parents who are sharing their babies with us. So that is the conclusion of my prepared remarks, but I thought I would ask Dr. Thompson if there is anything she would like to share as we have given birth to this amazing new idea.
I will do that in my superintendent's report.
Gotcha. Any questions?
I don't see any questions, but I'll tell you what, I am excited. This is great. It's going to be over the years, it'll become a standard, and that's wonderful. And we can continue to use the videos repeatedly in different kinds of ways.
Indeed.
So, thank you.
We look forward to your feedback as you have a chance to watch.
Oh,
Thank you.
bet. Thank you very much.